Have you ever been on a bus and you saw someone really attractive and then you thought to yourself, God damn, can you imagine if I've ever had a chance with that kind of person? Like, why would they ever try to even look at me, right? And then 20 seconds later, they actually look at you, right? And then you realize that you've been staring at them for the last 5 minutes and then they start to judge you. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly what I came here to do, is to judge people. But instead, we're doing it online. And I want you to come with me while I play Minecraft, while I read stories from Reddit. Welcome. So this story here reads, am I the asshole for telling my parents I'm tired of earning love by being convenient? She is a 24-year-old female, the youngest of 3. She says, growing up, I was always the easy child. I didn't get in trouble. I did well in school. I didn't ask for much. My parents used to say that they were grateful. I never caused stress like my siblings did. At the time, I took that as a compliment. As I got older, I realized what it really meant. I was the one expected to adjust. If plans changed last minute, I was the one who was supposed to understand. If someone needed my help, I was the one who was quote-unquote free anyway. My siblings could say no, have boundaries, even mess up, and my parents would rally around them. I was praised for being flexible, not for being supported. Even now as an adult, it hasn't changed much. If my parents need help with errands, paperwork, or watching a younger cousin, they call me. If I say yes, it's normal. If I hesitate, I'm told I'm being difficult. Meanwhile, when I needed help moving apartments last year, they were too busy, but somehow found time the next weekend to help my brother with something less urgent. The breaking point happened recently when my mom asked me to cancel plans so I could help with a family obligation. I said I couldn't because I already committed to something important to me. She sighed and said, you've changed. You always used to be there for us. Something in me snapped. I told them I'm tired of earning love by being convenient. I said it feels like I'm the only one appreciated when I make things easier for everyone else, and invisible when I need something in return. I wasn't yelling, but I was emotional. My dad said I was being unfair and keeping score, and my mom started crying and said she never realized I felt that way. Now things feel awkward. My parents are quieter around me, and my siblings think I should apologize for upsetting them. Part of me feels bad for hurting their feelings, but another part feels relieved that I finally said what I've been holding in for years. So, am I the asshole? Hey. Okay, you are absolutely not the asshole. Okay, you are absolutely not the asshole. Allow me to elaborate. I personally have found myself in that same exact situation. I've always been a straight A student. I've always never, negotiated or argued with people. I never did any of that. However the tides came, I've always knew how to ride them. And sure, it gives you the skill of being able to ride any wave that comes at you, but at the same time, it doesn't give you the skill to pave the wave so it fits your vibes instead. And that is a massive problem. The reason is, first of all, before I actually get into the reasoning, I believe that you're not the asshole. I believe that your family is fucked up, honestly, on so many different levels. And here's why. Your father's reaction was absolute garbage, right? When you say that we're keeping scores, everybody keeps score, Dad. If I today refuse to take out the trash, a week later you're gonna remember that I refused to take out the trash and you're gonna bring that up. If you did something wrong, I also get the right to do something, and later argue about it and bring that same thing up. Everybody keeps score automatically. Your mother's reaction was either one of two things. Either that she is a good mother and she would understand that how you felt was really bad, but in that situation she wouldn't cry. Crying, especially in mothers, is a sign of disappointment or heartbreak. Why would her heart break, right? Parents' hearts break when they see you as something that you are not as they see you anymore. For example, if my mother sees me as as a saint, as a goody two-shoes child, a child that never makes something wrong, and then I go outside and do something stupid, sell drugs or something, she would absolutely cry. Not because I did something wrong, it's because I disappointed her to a measurement that she cannot even fathom emotionally, so she would break out in tears. Your siblings, they just want you to apologize because they don't want you to be responsible for breaking out another situation and another scene in the house that they cannot stop or control, because you're supposed to be the one who takes care of the situations they make, and because you're the reason of that situation, they expect you to handle it. And at the same time, because you are not going to be able to handle it, they're just asking you to just shut the fuck up and swallow the hard pill, because they're the ones who's used to making these things. It's all psychological. People get comfortable. People get used to patterns. And even if that pattern is unhealthy, they still get used to it. Guys, ask yourself this. Why is a woman beater always got a bitch to beat, right? Why? It's a pattern. It always repeats itself. And just don't be the bitch that they get to beat. That's it. So my advice for you is that you've did absolutely perfect. I would have, taken it a little bit slower instead of actually saying no at the beginning. Instead of I actually said no in like smaller things like refusing to take out the trash, refusing to do the dishes, and then slowly they would get used to you saying the word no. And then with time, when you say no to a bigger thing, yes, you would be an asshole to them at that point, but it's gonna take, for you to raise your parents, because all of us sometimes get at a point, not all of us has been raised by their parents. Sometimes we raise our own parents. So in that situation, you have to just teach them a little bit. So yeah, moving on. Ooh, this one sounds good. Am I the asshole for telling my fiance that if her mother is going to dictate what I wear for my wedding, then I don't wanna get married? Ooh boy. This author says, her mother, who is somewhat well-to-do, is paying for a lot of things, including her dress, catering, alcohol, many other stuff, and her father, who is divorced from her mother, is paying for the venue. My family is paying for the rehearsal dinner, and my dad is paying for the honeymoon trip. Her mother, who is a bit of a control freak, has made her mission to choose whatever everyone should wear. She chose my fiancé dress even though she had wanted a different one. She chose the color for the groomsmen and bridesmaids. She's even trying to dictate what color my family should wear. Before even she got involved, I had decided to get married in a brown double-breasted suit that I would get custom made for me specifically. I already got everything set up, and I have already chosen my bespoke tailor. To have a preview of what the suit will look like, I generated an AI image of the same color of the suit, and I showed it to my fiance to see if she likes it or not. She likes it, and she really thinks that it will look very good on me, and it will go perfect with the colors of the venue, and all as well as the other what people were wearing. Apparently, my future mother-in-law does not like the suit, or at least the color, and I've decided to send me different colors that I should go for instead of the brown. I am not totally against choosing a different color or anything, but the fact the issue is that her choices are terrible. She apparently wants me to wear a pink skinny suit that looks terrible and cheaply made. I told my fiance that I do not want to wear the suit that she's suggesting or even asking me to wear, and that's the end of it. But my fiance is saying I should consider her mom is paying for a lot of things and I should reconsider. I told her if her mom is going to dictate what I should be wearing at my own wedding, then I don't want to get married. Now she's mad at me and calling me an asshole for not considering the opinions of others. Am I the assholes? Oh my fucking god, this whole situation is a mess. This is garbage. Okay, let's dissect it piece by piece, okay? You have been an asshole. You are not the asshole, but you contributed to the assholeness of the situation. Your mother-in-law is also an asshole. Completely? Maybe, maybe not. Is she a control freak? Absolutely. But I also understand this kind of people. At this moment, if her daughter is getting married, of course she wants everything to be perfect. And some people are so narcissistic that perfect is only dictated by what they see. And their vision is what dictates perfection. Because they see themselves as perfect. Now, obviously she's not perfect. And that is very well demonstrated by the way she thinks. Now, my issue here is what with you said to your future wife / current wife, I don't know. Saying that you don't want to get married if her mother is dictating what you should be wearing, I think that's a little bit too much, honestly. Because now you're paying for your own choices with your own wife's emotion. And I'm against that. You should have said that to her mother. However, that has probably also been, feeding fuel to the flame. Because she might go around and say that, hey, check what your future husband is saying. Your fiance said this and that about us and blah, blah, blah. And she's not going to shut up. She's going to keep talking and she's probably going to ruin the whole thing. However, she's the one paying. So listen, man, if she's the one paying and you really like this woman and you really want to get married, just fucking wear whatever. I understand. But listen, you know what? Both of you are assholes. Fuck you and fuck her. Both of y'all are fucking assholes. Y'all family's fucked up. I am not. Listen. Here's the thing. You have to stand up and say no. But at the same time, you cannot say that on the cost of your wife's emotional behavior. You cannot do that, man. That was fucked up. Also, another thing about the money if she keeps paying for everything, money is gonna be held over your head your entire fucking life. She will never stop pulling that out. She will always keep money over your head, and you will never break free from that. So watch out. Okay, so this is the last story for the night, and this one reads, am I the asshole for canceling a date over the location? I, 28F, recently canceled a second date with someone who's 38M because it felt like a test on his end for how much I would tolerate in the future. I'm wondering if I was too harsh. We met on a dating app, went for coffee, made loose plans for dinner the following week, and he specifically said dinner several times. When we were discussing said dinner over the next few days, he seemed to want to be the one to do the actual planning. I was fine with that. I find it rare to have potential partners taking initiative with planning these days, so I was actually excited. Well, I like that, honestly. He asked if I had any dietary restrictions, and I let him know that I only have 2 major requirements. I don't eat red meat, and I do not drink, as I'm a recovering alcoholic. I have almost 2 years sober, and we discussed at length during our first date. What we were both comfortable in terms of substance use, I was told directly that I don't mind if a date has a drink with dinner, but that I will never touch again alcohol, ever. I also stressed that I am absolutely not a picky eater and truly love forms of cuisine of all kinds. I just am unable to eat red meat for both health and personal reasons. I have a history of cardiac illness and have been advised to stick to poultry and fish. Respectable. The night before the date, he tells me that he has made a reservation at a spot I have never heard of. I looked it up and I texted him a link saying if I had the correct place because it was a huge cocktail lounge. He replied that it was correct. He liked their small bites menu. I checked the menu and there were only a few options. A meat and a cheese board with only 2 cheeses and 4 meats with no substitutions for extra cheese instead of the meat allowed per the menu. A pepperoni pizza, a burger, and a cheese pizza. I wasn't that upset, but it was a bit confused that it was a cocktail lounge with only one option that I could enjoy. While I was looking at the menu, he texted again to say that he had thought he could go to that lounge for dinner and then head to a nearby art-themed bar for a nightcap. At that point, I was honestly pretty thoroughly confused. Neither locations were truly restaurants. They were bars, and he was fully aware that I'm a recovering alcoholic. I genuinely am okay at restaurants to have alcohol options, but I was honestly a little gobsmacked at the suggestion of 2 bars, not restaurants with alcohol options. These are, first and foremost, bars. Makes sense. I decided to take the evening to think about it. I texted him the next day that I didn't think moving forward with a date was a good plan. My gut instinct was that if he chose a date location that violated the only 2 restrictions I gave, it was a test to see how much I put aside my wants and needs in the future. We live in a major city, and I want to stress that there is hundreds of really incredible options for food here. I would have been fine with quite literally anything else that was mostly restaurant service focused and had a couple of non-red meat options. It was the fact that the both spots he would choose were strictly bars, and the food that they did not have left with me was one single option. He responded kind of strangely after I let him know that I didn't think we were a good match. As well, he said, quote, "We'll leave it at that, and nothing else." Now I'm doubting myself. My friends have said that I'm not crazy for thinking the choices were strange at best and inconsiderate or intentional at worst. But I wanted to get objective opinions from folks I don't know too. What do we think, Reddit? Was this actually a red flag, or am I being overreacted? For what it's worth, I'm also not desperate to date or have a partner. I own a successful small business and have a fantastic group of friends, as well as several hobbies that I'm dedicated to, and I have my own home. I am in no rush to settle down, especially for the wrong person. Oh, you are absolutely not the asshole. Without a doubt. If I said to somebody that I'm allergic to dairy products, right? If I drink that shit, I'm gonna die, right? And that person insists, right, that he's gonna be taking me outside, right? Let's say we're going out to grab lunch after work or something, and I'm new with the city, and it's not a date, but he knows a good spot, and he's like, "Hey man, let's go pick something to eat." And then we go there and the entire place is cheese. I'm gonna be pretty pissed off. You know why? Because that's the only thing I said. I said no dairy products, and then the motherfucker still chose dairy products. So that shit pisses me off. So I can only imagine how much it pisses you off. Right? So here's the thing. You are not the asshole. He is absolutely the asshole. Now, is he testing you? We cannot prove that. We can only take that with a grain of salt. And that's pretty much it. Now, why would he do that specifically? Maybe he's one of those kind of guys that would try to get a girl in a bar to try to get her drunk, and then they can, have a enjoyable evening, if you know what I'm saying. Are you picking up what I'm dropping here? So, yeah, maybe he is one of those guys. So I believe that you are not the asshole. Absolutely. You good, girl. You good. Don't worry. Oh my god, this one's long. Ooh, this one's... Okay, this one's actually crazy. We need to actually check this one out. This one reads, am I the asshole for refusing to tell my roommate that I could hear her moan? Jesus, okay. I, male 27, live in a 3-bedroom apartment and I shared it with 2 roommates. One of them moved out and the other roommate is a female 29 who took over the room. It is bigger. I have had very bad experiences with roommates. I could sit for hours talking about the horrors of it. When our roommate finally moved out, we decided that we could wait with renting the new room until we find someone really good. We split the rent until then. The vents in our apartment made it that I could hear what happened in my roommate. I think she has had their bed literally below. I have never have been to her room. And she is not a loud person, but yeah, I could hear it. At first, I was embarrassed, but then I decided not to tell her because I didn't want to make her awkward. And then she would move out. That's very shy. Then I would lose literally one of the best roommates I have ever had. She's clean, quiet, and we barely even see each other because she keeps mostly to her room. Well, I know why. She makes the best food too, and she's generous enough to just leave me for some in the fridge. She knows I have exam periods and I don't want to risk it. When my girlfriend was visiting, I made the stupid decision to tell her. She went berserk calling me an asshole for cheating and threatened to tell her. I'm very sure she would die of embarrassment and leave. I don't care what she does in her room. We are neighbors. I have never gone to my neighbors to tell them that I can hear them moan. For me, that's a violation. Obviously, temporary account for privacy reasons. And this author also left some updates here. And honestly, dude, before I read the updates, my fucking god, this is actually fucking insane, dude. The fact you get... Well, she better be damn clean. I can only wonder what's happening in that room. And, well... Maybe that is the reason that she treats you very well. Maybe because at night, you know, she kind of, you know, does her own thing. Next day in the morning, she, you know, goes out and she feels good. So she blesses other people with food and a good day and all that shit, man. Listen, that shit crazy. That shit actually crazy. Oh my god. Okay, so let's read his update. So I thought it would be a compromise with work, so I texted my girlfriend that I would speak to my roommate and tell her about the funny thing. I realized that the vents are leading sounds from her room and that I thought I should tell her. My girlfriend answered, or you could just tell the truth. Why beat around the bushes about it? Why her feelings matter? Because we share an apartment and I don't want it to be awkward between us since she's a good roommate and she's very shy. I don't want to make her uncomfortable, so her feelings are worth more than mine. Got it. I told her no. And she said either told her to stop for real or she will. No playing around, just tell her the truth or she will. I will tell her the truth then or we are over. So I told her if you tell her the truth, we are over. Bro, what in the fuck? How is that cheating? Dude, you need a new girlfriend. Your girlfriend found a funny situation that has happened at your place because your roommate like kind of pleasures herself and, you know, she made it about herself somehow. She is very insecure. Please leave that woman. If you do not leave her now for this funny situation, trust me, it's gonna be very bad in the future. So I really advise you that you leave that woman. You are not the asshole. You are not overreacting. I believe it's a whole situation that is funny. If your lady was not in the equation, it would have probably been a much better situation. But because of her, you know, actions and the way she's saying it and the way she's being all manipulative and shit, man, go check on your bitch. She's probably the one making your roommate moan around here. So listen, man, listen. Don't take it personally. But I don't like your girlfriend. She sounds like an asshole. I think if anybody is an asshole in that story, it's her girlfriend or ex-girlfriend, hopefully. Your roommate was cool. She was clean. She paid the rent on time. She was a pretty decent person. And she's also shy and all that shit. And you know, for some reason, most of the time, the shy girls are always the freakiest. I don't know why, but it is what it is, man. And no, I think you should propose to your roommate. Fuck that hoe. Fuck that hoe. Moving on, man. So yeah, this is basically the end of it. Thanks for listening, and I hope I can catch you in the next one soon. And yeah, have a good one. Cookie out.